to the noble beard. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is in the best of health. Following on from my last video, I looked into it a little bit more. As I said at the beginning of that video, I didn't know who was being interviewed and what that was all about. But I managed to find something here, and it's an actual an interview on a news channel. I don't know who News Nation is. I don't know if they're up there with the big leagues such as, you know, Sky News, CNN, all them corporate, corrupt news channels, or if they're an independent one. But they got their own YouTube channel. It's called News Nation, and it says military whistleblower claims US has UFO retrieval program. And the reporter is Elizabeth Vargas. So I thought, okay, well, it'd be interesting to check this out. I thought, let me watch it with you guys, and let's look at this interview in a bit more depth and see what they have to say for themselves. It's a very interesting subject, and I would like to see where this leads. So with that being said, let's check this out. Here we go.
Shell claims from a military whistleblower. UFO wreckage recovered by the U.S. kept classified by a secret government program for decades. Tonight, a world television exclusive you will only see on News Nation. Welcome to Elizabeth Vargas Reports.
Must be an American news channel.
Every night.
Looks official, so.
UFOs exist. The U.S. government found quite a number of them, and they are indeed of non-human origin. Those are the explosive allegations from a former intelligence officer tonight in a whistleblower complaint that the Inspector General is taking very seriously. 36-year-old Air Force veteran David Grush is exposing what he calls a top-secret military program that has reportedly found wreckage of fully intact UFOs. The government now calls them UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena. For years, there have been whispers and rumors that the government had aircraft of non-human origin.
Big up Bob Lazar.
This report is the first evidence it might be true. The Inspector General has called Grush's complaint urgent and credible. Tonight, we have a world television exclusive interview with the whistleblower in which he claims we not only have the aircraft, but the government has been keeping much of its secret from Congress and from the public. News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Enton is here with the story, and this is a blockbuster.
It is a blockbuster. It's really hard to wrap your mind around this. I've been working on this for the past couple of weeks. I'm still having a hard time processing all of it. All over the last couple of years, it sort of became mainstream to discuss UFOs. The government has released videos.
Conveniently.
They've acknowledged that we don't know what some of this stuff is out there that we have on camera, but this really takes it all to another level. For the very first time, the world is about to hear from a former high-level U.S. intelligence officer who says the government has some of the unidentified craft in its possession. He is revealing these exclusive details about the secret government program.
When you die, you go to another life. Maybe heaven, maybe purgatory, maybe hell. These are the kind of questions.
Jannah, inshallah.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots to the west. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
We have all seen these blurry videos of unidentified flying objects. Video
Yeah.
evidence of
Conveniently the same clips over and over and over. Check out Tyler's Secure Team 10, seriously. You want to see some mad footage? He's got some real interesting footage that's been sent to him by some of his followers. The odd one here or there is a bit dubious, but the vast majority of them will make you raise your eyebrows. Check him out, Secure Team 10. Keep doing that clicking noise. You better get used to that now.
Will, that old tales of UFOs may not all be conspiracy theories. In recent years, Congress starting an official U.S. government unidentified aerial phenomena task force, recently renamed the All Domain Anomaly
Whatever, man. I don't
Resolution
really-
Office, or ARROW. And now in a News Nation exclusive,
don't buy
David
that.
Grush, an Air Force veteran, former member of that task force, and veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the US defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
Grush sitting down with award-winning investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation and has spent years reporting on the UFO question.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me. I have plenty of current former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
Grush alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General. News Nation has confirmed David Grush's credentials and resume. We've not seen or verified the alleged proof he says he's provided to investigators.
Show us the proof.
He can't show us the proof for national security reasons. He also tells us he's not seen photos of the alleged craft himself, but has talked extensively with other intelligence officials who have.
If you're right...
It's just a bit too convenient for me.
Everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race...
In other news, the sky is blue.
For the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of...
Well, naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
It's also harder for people to wrap their minds around the concept of a crashed object from somewhere else. It's easier to accept that, yeah, we see things in the sky that we can't explain.
Journalist Leslie Kane broke Grush's whistleblower story this morning in the debrief. Ms. Kane's career has been mainstream and credible, having written a series of reports on UFOs in the New York Times dating back to 2017. He has the credentials, but there's no documents that he's handed over. There's no pictures. And as a journalist, you want to see documents, you want to see pictures. Does that raise a red flag?
Not at all, Brian. I mean, you mean documents that actually describe the craft?
Correct, yeah, like government documents, or to be able to see it for ourselves.
Of course, don't we all want that? And the problem with that is all of that information is classified. You know, as we said in the story, everything that...
But he's allowed to talk about it. Come on, man.
And told the Inspector General of both the IC, the Intelligence Community Inspector General, and the Department of Defense Inspector General, all of that information is classified.
In 2017, Kane reported exclusively in the New York Times that the Pentagon had a secret UFO program. 3 years later, the Pentagon confirmed her story. Her latest report is even more explosive, but Kane says she has multiple sources who back up Grush's story.
I believe it because of all the sources I have who have told me the same thing. So who am I to
Bob Lazar.
Very, very high-level people who have been inside these programs for decades, have done their work, and are all telling me the same thing. I mean, I don't think there's some kind of conspiracy among all these people who don't know each other to make something like this up.
So I've got to be blunt about this. You're not making this up. This is not a lie.
No, absolutely not.
I used to work 9 to 5, but what made me a millionaire was working a few minutes every day.
Because everybody watching this right now is looking at your face. They're going, is this guy for real?
I am for real. And I'm sitting here at great personal risk and obvious professional risk by talking to you today.
And
despite that, you don't want to show the documents. Even if you used to show the documents to the journalists but can't show it on TV, fair enough.
Has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. AARO is committed to following the data and its investigation wherever it leads. AARO, working with the Office of the General Counsel and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, has established a safe and secure process for individuals to come forward with information to aid AARO in its congressionally mandated historical review. AARO's historical review of records and testimonies is ongoing and due to Congress by June 2024, and AARO welcomes the opportunity to speak with any former or current employee or contractor who believes they have information relevant to this historical review. And Elizabeth, we know that David Grush, he's filed that whistleblower complaint. He's been on the record under oath testifying to many of these things that he said in our report tonight.
Right, and it's important to point out that this statement from the Pentagon from AARO, Grush is alleging that this top secret program is keeping it a secret from AARO. So.
Yeah, exactly. And if Grush is, what he's saying is true, the spokespeople, all of those folks at that level wouldn't even know this was going on anyway.
All right, I got to ask you, he has a compelling story to tell. Very little of it seems like firsthand knowledge. Isn't he just repeating what somebody else has told him or somebody else has showed him?
Like.
Yes, that is what he's doing, but he says he's talked to a number of people who are in
so is Bob Lazar, but everyone blew him off, and Jeremy Corbell.
The highest level of classified material information that he was able to receive. We went back and checked over, his history, all of his credentials, check out completely.
That's fair enough.
In addition, a couple of people have come forward publicly to vouch for him, people who are high-ranking.
They have, and this article first came out this morning, and I think it's interesting that, there hasn't been any sort of effort to discredit what he has said, either from the Defense Department.
So interesting. So what happens, and have we had any reaction, by the way, from members of Congress who have been taking this seriously in the last couple of years? We've seen congressional hearings, we've seen NASA's hearing just about a week ago on UFOs or UAPs, whatever you prefer to call them. We've seen the DNI give a briefing to the White House on this. We've been hearing whispers and rumors for years. I remember even former President Trump, when he was in office, sort of saying, "Oh my gosh, if you knew what I knew about UFOs."
Yeah.
So there's always been this intrigue.
There has, and think about it, Elizabeth, if you go back 15 or 20 years, if we were sitting here talking about UFOs, people would think that we were nutty. Now it's gotten to the level of where it is somewhat accepted because the government has come forward to a certain extent and acknowledged that there are these videos that exist. The Navy has released the videos themselves and said, we're not sure exactly what this is that we're seeing. Of course, what Grush is saying really just sort of takes it to the next level.
Boy, it sure does. It's almost impossible to believe. All right, Brian Enton, thanks so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Okay. That's about as much news as I can stomach for the week. I don't watch news, terrestrial news, TV news, any form of news whatsoever. I think it's all biased, and anyway, not getting into that. That still was quite interesting. Very interesting report. He has credentials to back him up. One thing that Bob Lazar doesn't have, unfortunately. I mean, he has proof to show that how he has been discredited and how he was in places that they say he wasn't, but he was. He's got proof of that. But the government and the universities and other people that he claims to be affiliated with, Bob Lazar that is, have gone to great lengths to discredit him. But still, he tells an intriguing story. He comes up with some interesting interesting theories and things that he claims he witnessed, and even speaking about the machines that they use to get in and out of buildings, that are identification machines which you place your hand on and it measures your bone density. Apparently it was a top secret invention. I don't know if it was of alien origin or something, but that was the only way to get in and out of certain facilities, such as I think it's Area S4, which is in Area 51, or adjacent to Area 51. That's how he got into their top secret facilities, using his bone density machine. And eventually, many years later, someone produced a picture and showed him how this was an actual thing. And for him it was like, yes, see, I told you so. And it was another I told you so moment for him, and I weren't lying moment for him. So I give him that. But again, Bob Lazar would have taken, if this is Bob Lazar, he would have taken the reporters to the side, showed them off camera, look at this, here's the documents, here's the pictures, whatever. But we can't show them nationally, we can't show them on TV for whatever reason. So that makes me immediately start to get a bit suspicious that this might be a load of crap. You know, you're gonna go to great lengths to be like, yes, this is here, this is what's running, this is what's going on right now, and they had this whole entire program to do this and that and the other. I've seen the proof, I have the proof, but I can't show it to you for national security reasons. So why are you up here talking for then? Okay, so he's gone to hearings and he's given testimony at these hearings that I don't really have a lot of faith in. And he doesn't seem to be officially, you know, part of them, of the actual hearings and stuff like that. If anything, he has complained to them and given them this information. Fair enough. But we'll see how this goes. That's the only thing that made me look into this thing in the first place, when they claimed, I think one of the initial statements that came out when these all hearings started to first take place, is that there was mention of being the government, US government, being in possession of craft that was not of terrestrial origin, and wouldn't expand upon that explanation there. That's what I was interested in when this whole thing came out. But besides that, I think it's a complete and total farce. I think it's some kind of deceptive ploy that the government, I don't trust anything that the government comes with, especially these kind of hearings and these kind of topics. After you've been discrediting anyone and everyone that's been talking about these things for nearly 50 years now. Like, come on, man. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Tell me what you think, what your thoughts are on this whole entire subject. As I said before, check out Secure Team 10 for some interesting footage. And I will catch you on the next one. Have a blessed week. Peace.